The comic book market is bubbling with hot new comic books that you may want to add to your collection. Go grab your vibe juice, and I'm going to go grab mine, and I'll meet you back here in the comic room. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Keep It Comics. As always, I am your humble host, C3, and we are back. Yes, we are back with another top 10 list and market update for you. Yes, for you, the comic book community. I got my vibe juice. I hope you got yours. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We've got a top 10 list that you're definitely not going to want to miss. One of these comic books is so hot that no collection is complete without it. We'll talk about that one in a minute. But for now, we're going to start the list off with a hot comic book cover. Let's talk about Batman, issue number 158, and this is the Liber Mijo 1:25 ratio variant. Take a look at this beautiful cover. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first full appearance of Silence. This book is currently up 45.25%, with the average price being $10, ladies and gentlemen. The average graded copy will run you roughly about $34. This book has had a total sales of 84, right? So it's 84 books have sold so far, with the all-time high being $80, and that was for a CGC 9.8 that took place back in January. Fair market value has this book resting at $10 for the raw copy in near mint condition. I had to start the list off with this book because this is such a beautiful cover. Over the last couple of years, I have become such a huge Liber Mijo fan myself, right? And this ratio variant is one that I'm looking to add to my collection, so I wanted to put it on the list and share it with you guys, all right? So keep your eye out for Batman, issue number 158. The 1:25 Liber Mijo family variant, because it's moving, all right? Check it out. Now, no comic book collection is complete without this one right here. And I'm talking about the Silver Surfer, issue number 4. Yes, and this is the classic cover art by Buscema, and we all know this cover when we see it. It's super hot. When you look at it, you know that it's a classic key and it's a must-have for your collection. It's the first battle between the Silver Surfer and Thor. Yes, it's a must-have, and no collection is complete without it. You know that. I know that. We just want to make sure that the newcomers know that. All right? This book is up right now, 62.82%, and it's still rising, my friends. Average price for the raw copy is $372, while the average price for the graded copy is $973. A total of 1,598 sales for this book that's taken place so far. The all-time high for this book, get this. It happened in 2021, and it was for a CGC 9.8, where that book sold for $90,000. Yes, my friends. Now, there's a strong possibility that in today's current comic book climate, you may be able to get that 9.8 for a little bit less, right? I make no guarantees, but if you play your cards right, you could probably get the seller to come down off that just a little bit, all right? Now, the last recorded sale for this book was $395, and that was for a raw copy. But the fair market value has this book listed at $372, and that's for a raw copy in very good condition. And I became a little curious, and I figured you guys might want this information. So I dug a little deeper, and I went on Go Collect, and I found out that there are 5,241 universal grades on the census, right? We had 16 sales of the 9.8. Fair market value has the 9.6 listed at $13,000. And if you want to level up, you can level up with a 9.2 for $3,700. All right? Now, fair market value has that 9.0 listed at $2,500. So whatever you're able to get your hands on, now may be an opportunity for you to buy, all right? And whenever you are ready to level up, make sure that you support your local comic book shops. Definitely go by and contribute to your local economy, all right? Connect with the owners. open up a pull box, maximize your collecting experience by pre-ordering new lineups, comics that may have piqued your interest. Definitely, when you really want to get down to the brass roots of collecting and you think that you're ready to go full force, definitely check out your local comic book shops, and then come back and check me out, C3, all right? Because I'm definitely going to keep you up to par on what's shaking and what's moving. And this is Keep It Comics. I'm the comic book channel that's going to keep it 100 with you. I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm going to always share accurate information with you. And I have no strings attached. There's no gimmicks. There's no additives, no preservatives. So definitely make sure you support your local comic book shop, because this is important. I know we do a lot of comics, and if by chance your local comic book shops don't have what you're looking for, then you go to the eBay, you go to the aftermarket, and you see what you can get your hands on. But always be careful when you're buying. Never jump out of the airplane without a parachute, all right? That's my public service announcement. And moving right along, on the list at number 8, I'm excited to see this next comic book on the list. This is Teen Titans, issue number 20, and this is that Bernard Chang regular variant. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this book highlights the first full appearance of Crush. That's Lobo's daughter, and this is also her first cover appearance, all right? This book is currently up 68.37%, with the average price for the raw copy being $4, the average price for the graded copy being $59. This book has had a total of 705 sales that has transpired on the secondary market so far, with the all-time high for a CGC 9.8 being $144 that took place back in 2021. Last recorded sale for this book was $3, and that was for a raw copy. But the fair market value for this book is listed at $4 for a raw copy in near mint condition. All right? So this is such an exciting character. I hope DC does something with this character. I was extremely intrigued when she first came out, when she first debuted, and I thought she was a great addition to the Teen Titans team, right? I thought that chemistry went very well. All right, so I hope DC doesn't drop the ball with this character. All right, this is Teen Titans, issue number 20, the Bernard Chang regular variant, first full and first cover of of Crush, Lobo's daughter. All right, now, on the list at number 7, Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 568. Oh yeah. This is when Mr. Negative activated that process that turns Eddie Brock into anti-venom. And we all know what happened after that, all right? This book is currently up 80.67%. And an increase in sales just continue to move and continue to go in an upward trajectory. And I think that's positive for the comic book community. Average price for the raw copy right now is just $12. Average price for a graded copy is $31. Yes, you can get your hands on a graded version of this for about 31 to 30 to 40 bucks, right? So, and that's not bad for a graded book. We've had a total of 331 total sales that transpired so far, with the all-time high being $150 for a raw copy, and that took place last year, all right? Last recorded sale for this book was $15 for a raw copy, but fair market value has this book listed at $12 for the raw copy in near mint condition. So if you're interested in The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 568, definitely keep your eye out on that book, because it's moving on the secondary market. You know, that classic moment when Mr. Negative turned Eddie Brock into anti-venom. You know, it's definitely one of those things where we were in the comic book community like, oh no, what's going to happen next? Right? So it's a great moment in time, and that's why it made the list. So definitely check it out. And make sure you keep checking me out over here at Keep It Comics. I'm your boy C3, and it's always good vibes. Yes, yes, yes. This morning I'm having a nice cup of mushroom coffee, and I've got Reese's Peanut Butter Cup creamer in there. And man, it is good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on the list at number 6, let's talk Strange Tales, issue number 148, the regular edition. This comic book too is doing well on the aftermarket. This is the origin of the Ancient One, right? And I really enjoyed watching Doctor Strange play out on the big screen, and it just brought me closer to this hobby that I love so much. All right, so here's the specs on this book. The origin of the Ancient One is up right now, 94.18%. Average price for the raw copy is $11. Average price for the graded copy is $152. We've had a total of 524 sales for this book that has changed hands on the secondary market, with an all-time high being $1,800 for CGC 9.6, and that took place back in 2023. Last recorded sale for this book was $13 for a raw copy, but the fair market value is listed at $11 for a raw copy in very good condition. So Strange Tales issue number 148, the regular edition, is doing numbers on the secondary market. It's up. The comic book community is excited about this book once again, so check it out if you're looking to add that one to your collection. All right? On the list again for the third time. This is a Strike While the Iron is Cold book. All right? It was up. Now it's starting to cool off a little bit, and I still want to make you aware. If you haven't read this book and you don't have it, you may want to go out and get this book, because we have an idea. I think the comic book community sees something bubbling here on the low that could bring some more excitement to the hobby, right? And this is Marvel Knights, The World to Come, issue number 1. All right, this is the Joe Quesada regular variant, and it's the first appearance of Kedema. I hope I'm saying that right. All right, now, this book is currently coming down. It is down now at 3.97%, making it an opportunity for buy. Great buying opportunity whenever book starts cooling off and the prices come down a little bit. Average price for the raw copy is $18. Average price for the graded copy is $100. Now, this book is all over eBay, ladies and gentlemen. Prices ranging from anywhere from $25 up to about, prices ranging for about 25 bucks. Yeah, anywhere in that area from like $19.99 to $25 when you add that shipping on. That's where I see this book at on eBay. But there's been a total of 236 sales for this book so far, with the all-time high being $100 for a CGC 9.8, and that took place back on June 8th. Last recorded sale for this book was $19, where the fair market value has this book listed at $18 for the raw copy in near mint condition. So if you don't have this book, this may be an opportunity for you to get it. It's just the first installment, but it is a good read. It has a very pearl clutching, gasping into it, and I thought it was pretty exciting. All right, so I definitely want to hip you guys to this book. Make sure you don't miss out. What looks like it's going to be a good read, so definitely check it out. All right, they're taking Black Panther in another direction, which, you know, the possibilities are endless now. All right, on the list at number 4. Number 4 on the list, Star Wars, Dr. Aphra, Chaos Agent, issue number 1. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Sarah Pacelli's 1-in-25 ratio variant. It's hot right now, and the comic book community is going after this book. All right, this book is up 4.48%. All right, yes, I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's moving up, right? So they're going after this book. Average price for the raw copy, $53. Average price for the graded copy, $125, with 17 total sales so far. All right, the all-time high for this book is $125, and that too was for a raw copy. All right, so this book is definitely worth keeping your eye on. Now, last recorded sale for this book was $60 for a raw copy, and the listed and fair market value has it listed at $53 for a raw copy in near mint condition. So definitely watch this book. Be careful, don't overspend for it, but it's definitely moving on the market. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've made it to the top 3. On the list at number 3, another hot variant making waves throughout the market. All right, so this is one to check for. This is Mark Spears' Monsters issue number 5, cover D, and this is the New Mutants 98 homage variant, right? The bag and boarded joint with the card inside. All right, now, listen. I don't know. You guys leave a comment down below. how hot can this artist get? Because his work seems to be getting a whole lot of attention right now. Ever since he dropped that bride variant, this artist is just blowing up right now, right? So definitely leave that comment below. How hot can you think Mark Spears is going to get? Or do you think they're just watering down the industry with so much of his work that it's just going to fall off? I mean, I see both things happening, right? You never want to just oversaturate the market to where the artist loses its luster. I mean, I don't know. That's just my opinion, all right? So this book is up. That's all we can say. It's up right now, 7.6%, with the average price for the raw copy being $17. Average price for the graded copy is $55. We've had a total of 54 sales that have changed hands on the secondary market, with the all-time high being $55 for the 9.8 that took place back in May 26, right? Fair market value has this book listed at $17 for the raw copy and near mint condition, but the last recorded sale for this book was $15. All right? Now, and horror suspense is making the waves. We got to go with it. I had to put it on the list because he's hot. I want to know what you think, guys. Are they oversaturating the market with Mark Spears, or is he just this hot that he's a must-have? Let me know in the comment section below. On the list at number 2, X-Men Annuals, issue number 14. We're back at it again. This is the first full gambit, ladies and gentlemen, up 27%, right? Average price for the raw copy, $37. Average price for the graded copy, $142. Now, this book has got that whole Hawk 180, 181 vibe thing going, right? Because we keep talking about which one was the first appearance, which one was the first, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, all right? We've had a total of 2,985 total sales, with the average price for the raw copy being $37 and the average price for the graded being $142. Now, last recorded sale for this book, $70, and that was for a 9.6. Fair market value has it listed at $37 for a raw copy. So this book won't be hard for you to get your hands on if you're interested in adding First Gambit to your collection. But just know, there's still that little debate going on which one is the first full. All right? Now, what came first, the chicken or the egg? I don't know. I'll leave that decision up to you guys, the comic book community. All right? But also, don't forget to stop by and check out your local comic book shop if you're interested in adding this book to your collection. Go in, strike up a conversation with some of the employees or even the owner. Ask them if they have this book present or in the back somewhere, or, stashed away, or if they can get their hands on it for you. Always support your local comic book shop. Support your local economy. It does a great deal, and it's something we all need to pay attention to as we continue to move through this hobby. We never want our brick and mortar stores to disappear, all right? And definitely check out C3, all right? Keep It Comics. Good vibes only. We're only here for the love of the hobby. Nothing else. So check the nonsense at the door, all right? And you know what time it is. Now, let's talk about the number 1 hottest comic book on the planet. And that book is Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion, issue number 1. Oh, yes. And we got another Sarah Pacelli regular cover. Yes. Doing good on the market right now, right? This is when Richard Parker first claimed the name Venom. All right? He adopts the name Venom. Now, this book is up a whopping 191.39%, right? This book is on fire, ladies and gentlemen. Burning hot right now. Average price for the raw copy is $6. The average price for the graded copy is $55. We've had a total of 34 sales for this book so far, with the all-time high being $55 for the CGC 9.8, and that took place back in April. Fair market value has this book listed at $6 for the raw copy in near mint condition, but the last recorded sale for this book was $30 for a raw copy. So keep your eye out for Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion, issue number 1. This book is moving. The comic book community is hot and on fire because of this book right now. So if you want to get your hands on one, now may be a good time to pull the trigger. Average prices for the raw, still at a nice low physical cost that you can get your hands on it. You don't have to spend a lot for it. So definitely keep your eye out. All right, ladies and gentlemen? And that's your list. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Remember, support your local comic book shops. And then come back and check me out, C3, over here at Keep It Comics, the original Keep It Comics. Not the imitator, but the innovator. Now, you know what I always say, don't hate, congratulate. Show some love, because that don't cost you nothing. Appreciate. But no matter what you do, whenever you see me, always keep it comics. Later, Gators. Good vibes only. You know what it is.